Alright, so many of you guys have requested for this comparison on Buyer's Guide episode. So the Infinix Note 30 Pro and Tecno Camon 20 Pro. So if it happens you are among those who have requested for this video, today is your lucky day. So we have the Infinix Note 30 Pro and Tecno Camon 20 Pro in the building. So we'll be working behind the scene for some time now to make sure we'll give you guys a well-detailed comparison. So the Infinix Note 30 Pro is the most expensive of these two. It will cost you 176,000 naira, while the Tecno Camon 20 Pro will cost you 156,000 naira. That is about 20,000 naira price differences. So what made the Infinix Note 30 Pro so special that it cost 20,000 naira more? Well, the number one major reason is because of the wireless fast charging system. So it's not something we see every time in smartphones under $300 segment. But the Infinix Note 30 Pro is introducing that technology into the smartphones under the $300 price category. So the back cover is made of glass, and then you have the squarish camera model design. Beneath it, you notice the 108 megapixel inscription, and then you also notice the wireless charging word inscripted on the back of the device. Now, the pad that you use to charge the wireless for the smartphone comes along with the device. The Camon 20 Pro, on the other hand, you have a design that is kind of a matte finish, not glossy, and the blue color is very beautiful. It's easy to like it on the first sight. Then you have the 5-sided geometric shape camera module design, which is a pentagon design that houses the camera. You also notice the inscription, which is the RGB.BU. Now we'll talk more about that sensor later in the camera segment. So these two smartphones are now available in stores, so you can visit the nearest 3COP shop or Desde Communication to purchase it. I will leave the seller's contact in the description for you to call them to get yours. Now these two smartphones, in terms of design, all the ports and buttons are placed alike. But one thing you appreciate about these two smartphones is that none of them is bigger than the other. Both smartphones measure the same size. And in terms of the display, they gives you Super AMOLED touchscreen, and you have 120 Hz refresh rate. You also have 90 Hz and 60 Hz. But even at that, the Infinix Note 30 Pro, in terms of the color gamut, it's more impressive than that of the Tecno Camon 20 Pro. And as for the refresh rate, it's not something you see often in devices of this price category, giving you either 60, 90 or 120. So you can set to 60 Hz for you to save more battery, and then 90 still gives you smooth, but the smoothest is the 120 Hz refresh rate. So I look forward to the time when Infinix and Tecno start featuring LTPO AMOLED panel on their phones. But for now, it is what it is, and both are impressive in terms of display. Now, as for the audio quality, both smartphones comes with stereo speakers. And the Infinix Note 30 Pro, the stereo speaker was tuned by JBL, while that of Tecno Camon 20 Pro was not tuned by any known company. But even at that, when you listen to the sound quality, you notice similarity. You can hardly tell which one is tuned by JBL and which one is not. As for the camera, this is where you notice another major difference between these two smartphones. So the Infinix Note 30 Pro main camera is 108 megapixel, while that of the Camon 20 Pro is 64 megapixel. But what matters is not just the megapixel count, but the output. These two side by side, one obvious thing you notice is the color saturation on the Tecno Camon 20 Pro. And this is not an issue on the Camon 20 Pro alone. Any Tecno phones that feature the RGB.BU sensor, it is always color concentrated, which sometimes could be a turn off because you keep wondering where all those tone of colors are coming from. Sometimes it's not so cool. For example, comparing these two pictures side by side, you notice that the natural look on the Note 30 Pro looks too pale. If you want to upload directly from your camera after snapping, you prefer the Tecno Camon 20 Pro because the color looks more appealing. Although sometimes, like I said, when it is oversaturated, it could be off, but other times it is cool. So the Camon 20 Pro color is more saturated, and that is a major difference when you compare that of the Infinix Note 30 Pro. And then when you try to zoom in, you notice that of the Infinix Note 30 Pro is sharper. It retains more details compared to the 64 megapixel on the Tecno Camon 20 Pro. So overall, the Infinix Note 30 Pro camera looks more crisper, but not much color saturated like that of the Tecno Camon 20 Pro. As for the performance, both smartphones are powered by MediaTek Helio G99 chipset, and so you have the same performance across board. And both phones are also paired with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage. One obvious thing you notice here is that none of them is 5G connected. As for the software, both run Android 13 out of the box. The good news is that Tecno has promised to upgrade the Camon 20 Pro to Android 14, while Infinix is yet to make any of such promise and doesn't even have a good track record when it comes to upgrading software. At least for the past few years, Tecno tries to give 1 year software upgrade. So currently the Camon 20 series are in the program of testing the Android 14 beta. Now, another reason why you might want to go with the Infinix Note 30 Pro is because of the 68 watt wired charging system, and then you also have the wireless and reverse wireless charging system, which means you can use the Infinix Note 30 Pro to top up the battery of your Apple device or Google Pixel phones. And if you have any wireless charging supporting device, you can use it to top them up. So overall, the 20,000 naira extra that you get to get the Infinix Note 30 Pro, is it worth it? The answer is yes, it is worth it. So that sum up the pros, the cons, the similarities and differences between the Tecno Camon 20 Pro and the Infinix Note 30 Pro. But having seen or heard all this, let me know what you think in the comment section. Which of these two would you rather go for and what are the reasons? Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Remember to subscribe and turn the post bell. It's my GA and I'll see you guys around in my next one.